ladies. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do a live Zoom this week, but I wanted to record this lesson idea that I have had and I'm excited about. I hope I can do the video um, in a way that is meaningful to you. But with Valentine's Day approaching this week, I thought we need to let the greatest love of our life know that he is loved. And sometimes we think Valentine's Day is just for spouses or people who are dating. But I think any day that we can set aside to show our greatest love, some special attention, is a good thing. And so I want us to each write a love letter to God. And it may have been a long time since you wrote a love letter. I know it's not something that I have done in this fashion before, but I'm going to give it a go. So I want us to write a love letter to God and reflect on his love to us. But this is going to be not a letter that is like a prayer where we're confessing sin, or we are just praising and thanking and requesting on behalf of ourselves or others. This is going to be a letter that is totally about expressing our love and what it is we love about him in this letter. And so I saw a lady and she was talking about love letters and what they should include. And they need to have a special greeting, maybe a pet name or a special name that you would use for someone. So, what is a special name that you maybe have for God in your prayers, or something that you want to just use in this letter? And so, for me, I've been giving that a lot of thought, and I think it's going to be to call him my greatest love. So we want that special greeting. We want you to describe the person. Just think of someone you haven't seen in a long, long time, and you're wanting to tell them all the things that you miss about them. And you may talk about their, things from your senses. What about their smell or something that you might taste? Thinking about a special meal or their favorite food. So taste and sight. What do you see? Their touch. What is it you hear? And so when I was thinking of this in relation to writing a love letter to God, I was thinking about the foods that he has provided us and the smells that he has created in nature. And if you think about all of these smells that we love, like a fresh morning rain, the way the earth smells after a good rain, or the smell of flowers, or the smell of the ocean, smells that he has created that you love, or things he has created that you taste, that you really enjoy. What is it he's created that when you feel it touch you, you're reminded of him? Maybe it is the breeze or the warm sun. What are sounds that you hear in nature? Birds chirping, the things that you see that he's created. All of those things could be incorporated into your love letter. And what makes this person unique, special, or precious to you? And here again, you want to think about it through the lens of loving that person. And what reminds you of them? When you see it, you're reminded of him. And this goes back to using your senses. But I want you to put some thought into this before you start writing a letter. The lady I listened to said a lot of love letters include some sort of rhyme or poem, some little bit of poetry. And your whole letter doesn't have to be written in poetic verse, but if you could include something, roses are red, violets are blue. When I see the mountains, I think of you. I mean, it could be something very, very simple. or maybe something humorous. And then write this letter in such a way that you build up to the I love you. Don't start with Father God, I love you. And the whole letter is just a repetitive I love you. Write this letter in such a way that it is building up to the I love you. So, what supplies could you use? Well, this lady said it would be really cool to use an old fashioned fountain pen. And just in Googling this picture, I found out that some fountain pens are as expensive as over $700. And I personally don't have one of these, but if you do, I think that would be really cool. Or if you have some special writing utensil that you could use, a very special pen, um, just try to make everything about this process special, something out of the ordinary, because our God is so out of the ordinary and so deserving of our special, whatever we have that is most special. So, vintage paper, tea dyed paper, maybe your special stationery that you've been saving back for something, a very special occasion, or a card that you've hung on to just because you love it so much. Um, Maybe you could spray it with cologne or perfume, because if you were sending a letter to someone that you haven't seen in a long time, I'm sure you would probably consider that. You may seal it up with a special seal or a sticker, and I'm going to show you how to make a little seal in this video. And I'm not going to be talking, I'm just going to be working, and then I'm going to put it on super fast speed, excuse me, so that um, it won't take forever. Maybe some special washi tape, die cuts, images from magazines, lace, anything to make your letter special. And it's going to be to your greatest love. So now some verses that you might want to incorporate. I'm going to create my journal pages, and then I'm going to attach my letter either in a pocket or an envelope to my page. But 1 John 4:18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. And so I thought about just putting perfect love with a heart, or perfect love inside of a heart, in reference to 1 John 4:18, because truly he is the only perfect love. In Deuteronomy 6:5, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And I thought that might be a really cool verse to actually incorporate into your letter. I love you with all my heart, and with all my soul, and with all my might. Doesn't that sound like something that would go in an old fashioned love letter? And then 1 Corinthians 3:8, the first part of that verse says, love never fails. So here again, I thought that would be really neat to just have on the page somewhere. And then how to fix your page. I kind of want my page to have a vintage feel to it. And so I'm going to be using an old fashioned doily, but you could cut out old paper, old music paper, and cut a heart out of old music pages. Just anything to give your page more of a vintage feel to it. Now, that is by no means how you need to do yours. You may want to use bright colors and really make it cheerful. So, whatever um, you feel is how you need to go with the theme of your love letter and your journal pages for this week. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, and